See, back in the 1920s, bats were made of hickory ash, and they were about 48 ounces apiece. Now in 2020, they're a lot more streamlined and consistent.
In the 1920s, a pitcher named Bill Doak from the St. Louis Cardinals suggested that there should be a web placed in the thumb and the first finger in order to create a pocket. This became the national standard for MLB gloves today.
Baseballs in the 1920s were greatly smaller in size. Each baseball weighed about 3.5 ounces and were also brown. Today in 2020, baseballs weigh about 6 ounces and are also white. Another great thing that has changed is stitching and pattern.
This is what a player might have looked like in the 1920s while he was at bat. Now, in 1958, they made a rule to where a player had to wear a helmet while they were batting. This was because of multiple head injuries that were sustained from batting.
In the 20s, the average baseball player made $5,000 a year. 50 years later, they made $30,000 a year. Today, the average baseball player makes $4 million a year.
Oh yeah, that thing's gone. Yes, sir. Now, see, there's a lot of fans at that game, but back in the 1920s, there was only about 7,000 fans at every baseball game. Here in 2020, there's about 25,000 fans at every game. Now, in the 1920s, that was the start of radio broadcasting, and fans could listen in from all over the place. But here, today, they've got games on national television for every game. Hundreds of thousands of fans can tune in at any time.
The greats in the 1920s in baseball were Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Tris Speaker, and the shoeless Joe Jackson. Today, in 2020, the greats are Mike Trout, Chris Bryant, and Freddie Freeman.
In 1920, there were only 257 home runs hit for the entire season. In 2019, there were 6,776 home runs hit. This is a great example of how the game has evolved over time.
Oh crap, I need that. Baseballs in the 1920s were greatly smaller in size. They each weighed about 3.5 ounces and were brown, cage top black. The patterns and stitching of the base